Don't bring me back. Don't bring me, bring me, don't.
Welcome back, you guys. So today we're going to be working on the Glock 26. Now, we've done a couple different 26s in the past, so if you haven't seen those videos, go back and watch them. There's a lot of useful information in those videos. But today, we're going to be working on a much different design than our normal. So one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to laser the back grip section on both sides with that hive pattern. Then we're going to go ahead and match the top to that. So we're going to be doing that hexagonal hive pattern on the top. We're not going to be punching a hole all the way through, just enough to be able to see what we're looking at. Okay, give it a little bit of design on the top, but we don't actually want to have any holes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run some serrations, which are going to start from the front and they're going to make their way back to the barrel, and they're going to go like this. Okay, so we're going to be going over the Glock, over the 26. We're hopefully not going to be hitting the A and the Austria, so we're going to kind of keep our distance away from there. And then I'm going to show you guys how we're going to go ahead and clean up that text over here, because we're not going to be shaving those sides. So you'll see a little bit of a different process than what we normally take there, and we'll discuss that a little bit more in detail. Now, one of the things that we haven't done for you guys is a rear-mounted red dot on a smaller version gun. So with that being said, we're going to be running the Leupold Delta on the back of this. So we're going to be leaving the rear dovetail for the rear iron sight. We're going to go ahead and mount this here. We're going to go ahead and be real careful that we don't hit our hole, and then that's going to kind of tie this in real nice all together. So that's kind of the overview of the project that we're going to be working on. So let me go ahead and take you guys through that, and then let's do a recap and see what we came up with. Alright, so we are all set with the CNC milling back here where the RMR is going to be mounted. I'm going to go ahead and tap both of these holes here with the correct size tap for the screws, and then I'm going to sandblast it, and then we're going to do just a really quick discussion about this, and then we're going to move forward with the rest of the slide. Alright guys, I was able to go ahead and get those drilled, tapped, threaded. Everything's good to go. We have the nice depth here that we're supposed to have, where we'll be able to co-witness. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is right here, the hole that we made into where the plunger is. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, I have a 19 that I've done with a Viper. I have several other slides that I've done with rear-mounted red dots, and I'm always emphasizing to you guys that know what you're getting into before you just jump right in and pull the trigger on a decision. Now, what that means is there's not enough room between the rear dovetail and where the plunger hole is to actually fit this mounted red dot in here without cutting into there. So let me see if I can get this in here without dropping anything. You can see we have not a whole lot of room between the back and the front, and of course we didn't go into it very much, but the idea here is to understand that not everything is always going to come out exactly how you vision it. You need to talk to people that know what they're doing. They can give you great advice. Now, this was a conversation I had before we started cutting this, whether we're going to be moving that dovetail in front and we're going to put this rear-mounted red dot to the rear, and the decision was made to put it in between the dovetail and where the barrel goes, and unfortunately we have punched a hole. Now, to some, this is a huge deal. they're like, no, you never want to do that, you've wrecked your slide. To others, they run their guns every day like this without any issues. Now let me explain to you what kind of problems it can cause, and sometimes stuff that is maybe misleading of what it doesn't actually cause. So this is your plunger with your little spring. It goes down inside of here, okay? And what you're gonna find out, and I'm gonna see if I can get the light correct here for you guys, but what you're gonna find out is, see that spring in there? Okay, so that spring presses up against the top side of the slide. Now one of the things you'll notice by looking at it from here is that the spring can't actually come out that hole. It's actually impossible to come out that hole, because if you look at the actual plunger, it's in the center, okay? So the spring doesn't have enough room to bend to come out that hole. So one of the things is, yes, if you were to cut a big gaping hole on the top, this would be pressing up against where the rear mounted red dot would be. I could see where it could possibly be a problem. Several of the mounted red dots on the market have a shim plate that goes underneath them. Some of the other ones similar to this is solid on the bottom. There's no battery that actually goes down here. So it just really depends on the application and what your specific needs are. Now, in this particular case, it's not going to do anything. Matter of fact, the spring doesn't even come out of the hole at all. So I guess if you look at it, well, my fingers, I have it in here at a couple different angles here. So the way I push it in here could be the way that it's protruding out. But under normal circumstances, take my hand out, push it in, you're gonna see that it doesn't actually come out the hole at all. So with that being said, let's just pop this out. No more need to talk about that. One of the other things I do want to talk about is this process as a whole is much different than a Viper, a Burris, a Trijicon. A lot different than that. In fact, that the screws are nothing like the screws that you'd find in the other ones. The other ones are a 632 or a 648. These are nothing at all. These are the screw is actually a, I can get that to focus, M4 by 7 by 15 by 15.8 millimeters. So it's an M4 tap, and that's a 7 by 15.8 millimeter screw. So you're not going to find that local anywhere. Like you can find the M4 by 7 local, but what you'll find is that it's not a 15.8 millimeter thread pitch. It's a 10, I believe. So if you go down to your local shop and you're like, yeah, there's an M4 by 7 here, they don't actually tell you what all the thread pitch is. Really look it over before you go ahead and drill that out or put it into a test piece, because what you're going to find out is that it's not the same thread pitch on the end. The other thing I wanted to kind of show here is that if you put this down into the slide, we just hold it tight here, see how much it's sticking out? Not much. So I haven't measured that, but I'm guessing it's about 0.1, somewhere in that neighborhood. These don't stick out nearly as much as some of the other ones that are on the market. However, the threading is definitely different. So there's a possibility that when they engineered this red dot, they determined that they don't need quite that many threads in order to achieve the same torque per inch. So, you know, I don't build the red dots, obviously. I just use what they give me. But that's one of the things I wanted to kind of just let you guys know a little bit. That's some of the reasons why you guys keep coming back to my videos as, you know, learning experiences. You guys get ready to do a project, you come back and watch what I've done. You'll learn a little bit before you get into it. So guys, what we're gonna do now is we are gonna go ahead and run the Hive hex pattern on the top. We're not gonna be punching through. We're just gonna be running it, you know, deep enough to show some characters of what we're actually getting at, what kind of pattern we're getting at. And then after that, we will we'll do a sandblast, and we'll do a real quick, you know, overview of that, and then we'll start working on the sides. Well, that came out pretty nice. So now we have some real defined characters up here. Nice and grippy, real textured through here. Obviously we didn't punch all the way through, but we have enough to really show a nice pattern. This pattern obviously matches this pattern. So that's really, really nice. It came out looking really good. It really did. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and run both of the sides. We'll be doing some serrations here, and then we'll sandblast that and take a look and see what we have here as a final product. guys, let's go ahead and pull this out of the vise, take a look at it. Well, that came out pretty nice. No more text. All right, you guys, what do you think? That is an exact fit. I mean, it's tight. So it came out pretty nice, you know, overall in the end. I like it. I do like how the sides are slightly different than the top. It's not, you know, so much hive hex pattern over and over and over again. It has a little bit of both, so that's kind of nice, because obviously we have some original rear serrations that are in the back here that we ran over the over that with the laser. So it's kind of nice to see that up front as well. Really cool. You know, at the end of the day, I was looking at this and kind of thinking about it before I put this video together here at the end, and had realized that I think this is the first small slide that I've done actually done a rear mounted red dot on, which I thought was kind of unique, because I do a lot of them, but at the end of the day, it was just one of those deals where I guess I don't get a whole lot of requests for them. But guys, you know, hey, if you like the content and you're satisfied with the work, you know, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. I've got a lot going on. I've got several MMPs headed my way, big stuff. Not just small stuff, and they're not just all shields. So we've got some MMPs that we're going to be working on, and some really advanced builds with those, with the laser, and I think those are going to come out pretty cool. I'm definitely sure you guys are going to enjoy the content as it unfolds. So if that's something that you're looking for, subscribe, guys. You know, thanks for everything that you do. I'm pushing for that 1,000, trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We have a little bit of time left, and we're right at 900 right now. But I'm really just trying to get up over that hump and get over that 1,000 subscriber mark before we flip into 18. So that'd be cool if you guys can help me do that. And guys, learn as you go. This is one of those ones I hadn't done before. Sometimes it's a learning experience, not only for myself, but also for the customer when they request a certain thing or a certain style and it doesn't come out how they want, or it doesn't match up how they want. So they're learning, and I'm trying to educate them a little bit, and at the same time I'm learning as I'm doing it. Like I said, this is one of the first ones that I've put a small red dot on, so that was kind of a new one for me. But guys, just learn as you go. Always stay learning, and if you're not learning while you're doing it wrong. You should always just be educating yourself a little bit better on the processes and procedures of everything as you have your walk through life. So guys, you can check me out on the next one, and have a good one.